Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez beats him, and Benavidez becomes overnight a superstar? That's Canelo's letting Benavidez make a name off of him.
So you're saying that you're going to make?
If it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see.
David Benavidez isn't holding back after Canelo Alvarez's loss to Terence Crawford, the undefeated super middleweight champion.
Why? Canelo, why? I do not understand it. You're demanding $200 million? Like, come on, dude. Basically, Canelo doesn't want to give us the good fights. Imagine if Canelo and Benavidez gets made. That's the Super Bowl of boxing. Boxing is on the rise. Canelo, don't screw it up for us. I thought I would never say this, but Canelo's scared. Literally, I thought I would, as a fighter, I know fighters are not scared. But wow, we've been begging Canelo, please.
An experienced coach, Shields praised Crawford's nearly flawless strategy and composure in the ring. He said it was a masterclass performance that met every expectation. Shields even hinted that Canelo might consider stepping back, suggesting that the long list of tough fights could be taking a toll. Oscar de la Hoya, however, took a different approach. He said the decision to continue fighting rests solely with Canelo and advised him to be more.
I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo. And I just think that Crawford was too fast for him, you know, especially in the southpaw position. We all know Canelo have problems with the southpaw. So, you know, and that's why I picked Crawford. I just thought Crawford could.
A matchup between Crawford and rising star Virgil Ortiz would be an exciting and worthy challenge. Rolly Romero also praised Crawford's dominant win over Canelo, saying it takes a special fighter to beat someone of Canelo's caliber. Romero explained that while the early rounds were competitive, Crawford soon took control, dictated the pace, and landed cleaner shots round after round. He said the performance proved Crawford's place among the sport's all-time greats. Despite the victory, Crawford appears hesitant about facing David Benavidez, much like Canelo. Benavidez, however,
can't use the excuse that he's older, right? We can't use the excuse that, oh, well, you know, he moved around too much. Well, it's your job to figure him out, right? Just like Chavez would figure out a fighter, just like I would figure out a fighter, just like any real great fighter can figure styles out. That's your job. I think Crawford did a tremendous job. Kudos to him. Sky's the limit for Crawford. And
Rafael also said that while a rematch between Canelo and Crawford would draw attention, it might not be the best option for either fighter at the moment. He believes both men should look toward new, meaningful challenges that suit their current stages. Canelo, he said, needs to weigh his next move carefully, while Crawford must evaluate potential matchups based on weight, opportunity, and significance.
60. Imagine that. Would be incredible. So there's a good possibility that Crawford will stay at 168. Most likely go down to 160. I don't think he's going to touch 154. I think he'll stay at 160 eventually and try to find the biggest fights possible. And the biggest fight for him.
The best in boxing today, while Canelo faces a pivotal moment in his career, one that could define how he's remembered in the years to come. Ian has doubled down on his challenge, claiming that Canelo is avoiding him out of fear. Canelo Alvarez previously declined to face Benavidez, saying he didn't agree with Benavidez's attitude and was focused on bigger paydays. Veteran trainer Ronnie Shields, who predicted Crawford's win before the fight.
Something really special for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot more special than what probably anyone else is probably thinking, honestly. I didn't expect Crawford to be that big.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect Crawford to be that big, but Canelo did good the first few rounds, you know, first like all the way up like to round 4, and then that's when Crawford took over, you know. So I mean, the second half of the fight though, it was all.
Analyst Lewis Schofield, who initially thought Canelo would win, admitted he was shocked by Crawford's dominance. He said Canelo looked out of rhythm and couldn't keep up with Crawford's speed, timing, or control of the ring. Schofield believes Canelo can recover and return strong, but this defeat raises real questions about whether it's time for him to slow down. In the end, the fight left fans debating the future of both men. Crawford's performance placed him firmly among the fight, explained afterward that Crawford's speed and ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw styles exposed Canelo's weaknesses. Shields said Crawford's mix of timing, movement, and distance control made all the difference. As a former fighter, is eager to fight Canelo, calling it a battle for Mexico.
I had Canelo ahead in the early going, but I thought Crawford did an amazing job closing that fight down in the last few rounds, where he really started to back the supposed bigger guy up. Although for me, they looked about the same size. But that was a brilliant performance. And what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him and said, forget about it. No chance against a bigger guy like that.
He cements Crawford as one of the most complete champions in modern boxing. His boxing crown. While Crawford hasn't ruled out a match with Benavidez, he admitted that Benavidez's larger size makes it a serious challenge. Boxing journalist Dan Rafael agreed with Romero's analysis, pointing out how Crawford's game plan and discipline helped him outperform a more experienced Canelo. Rafael called it a well-executed, intelligent win that erased any doubts about Crawford's skills and preparation.
Then, too, the Hamza Shiraz, I mean, those types of names. He's got mandatories, mobility, got the draw tonight in a great fight. There's other fighters that have belts and interim belts and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, nobody's going to rush Terence Crawford into his next fight. They'll take his time, and, you know, whatever the next fight is, it's going to be a big one because, you know, his name is even greater now than what happened going into this fight for him. So he beats Canelo Alvarez.
More selective with future opponents. De La Hoya praised Crawford's ability to read his opponents and counter with precision, calling the fight proof of why Crawford is one of the most intelligent and adaptable boxers in the sport. De La Hoya also discussed what's next for both men. He believes Crawford now looks completely comfortable at super middleweight and doesn't need to drop back to 154 pounds. Still, he could move to 160 pounds for...
I've been a fan of Canelo since I was a kid, so my heart... a tear almost came on my I ain't gonna lie, because it felt like, you know, that Canelo's done. But I just think he was a little off that night. I think he can, you know, make a big comeback. But to Crawford, man, he's the greatest of this era. You got to give it to him. Greatest of this era. Nobody's ever done that before. 3-time undisputed. So you got to take your hats off to Crawford. And I was just shocked that he was able to just dismantle Canelo like that, you know, even with the size difference.